Sorry guys, we gotta talk about personal conveyance again, but I promise to make it interesting or useful. And we're also gonna watch a dash cam video of, remember how I always say people are doing crazy things out there? Well, this dash cam video is going to prove that. Hello and welcome to Safety Update. I think we're up to like 21 now. So I've been doing this for quite a while. I think I've been getting better at it. You guys have seemed to be agreeing with that. Some of you don't, and that hurts. It really, right here. But anyways, I'll get over it. So, again, I always say it, but I mean it. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to watch these and get the feedback. You know, like I said, I do this so that we can kind of interact and get you guys thinking about stuff that maybe you weren't thinking about. I can relay information to you. You can tell me that I'm right or I'm wrong. It's just a great, it's been a great tool to talk to you guys, and I'm happy that we got it going, you know, and I'm happy that you guys liked it and that we can keep going with it. So anyways, let's talk a little bit about personal conveyance. I'll try to keep it short, but it's something that we need to address because there's been some abuse, or maybe just some people haven't known exactly what to do with it. And so now that we're all on Motive, you know, the ELD provider, and I know some of you are complaining about it, but it is good, and you'll get there, you'll like it. But now that we're all on Motive, I can really monitor PC use, personal conveyance use, a lot better than when we were kind of split between the two of them. I got reports that I get now, and I just want to make you guys aware that I am going to be watching it a little bit closer. It was kind of like the Wild West there for a little bit with personal conveyance, and now I'm stepping in as you know, Wyatt Earp. And you know, people seem to like Wyatt Earp, except the people who are doing things the wrong way. So I'm not here to be a big brother looking over you, but I just want to convey, and I've said this about other safety items that maybe you think I'm kind of you know, a downer about, but all this safety stuff is put in place to help you guys. Okay, it's not to be heavy on the situation or anything like that. It's to make sure that you guys are safe on the road, to make sure that you don't waste time on the road, you know, by being shut down. And it's also made there so that you guys don't have to spend unnecessary money and pay that all to DOT or whoever, you know, in terms of fines and all that good stuff, because it's all unnecessary. Like, we want you guys to be running out there. We want you guys to be safe out there, and we don't want you guys to spend and waste money on fines and stuff like that. So that's why we kind of enact some of the rules that we do, and that's why the FMCSA has some of the rules that they do. And I know you guys are thrilled with the FMCSA, and you tell me that every time, that you think they're doing a great job, but there is a reason for the rules, and it's to make sure you guys are safe. It's to make sure the general population is safe, because you guys are driving some big, heavy rigs out there. And so one of the things that we've had is personal conveyance, and we allow you guys to use that. It's a tool. It's a really valuable tool. It's a really useful tool if it's used correctly. And we are seeing some trends of people not quite using it correctly. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up here that we are going to be, and when I say we, I am going to be monitoring the PC use a lot more. And if there are some issues and some trends that I'm seeing, I'm going to be reaching out and wondering what's going on, why are we doing that. And again, I'm not here to you know, be a heavy on the situation or be a downer or be a Captain Fun killer. But I want to make sure that you guys are safe out there, and I want to make sure that you're using this ELDs correctly, because if you use PC incorrectly and you get picked up by DOT, they're going to get you for a falsification of logs. And one, that's a fine for you. Two, that goes against the company's CSA score. And that's two things that we really don't need. So make sure that you guys are using personal conveyance properly. You know, moving to a safe haven. If you run out of hours at a receiver, okay, it's not, you can't run your 11 hours of drive time out and then find a safe haven. That's not how PC works. If you're driving and you run out of hours while driving and you PC to a safe haven, that's not how that works, okay? That's a violation. That you could get picked up for violation. But if you had a shipper receiver and you run out of hours and they don't let you stay there, you can PC then to the closest safe haven. Not your favorite safe haven, but the closest safe haven. We also can't advance loads under PC, okay? So if you, if you're a half hour from your receiver, you can't throw it into PC and get it to the receiver. That's advancing a load, okay? Now, if you are somewhere and you have to PC away and PC back, that's a different story, okay? You're not advancing the load, you're going back to the original location. That is what PC is for. Again, it's a tool. I want you guys to use it, but I want you to use it correctly. So if you have questions about personal conveyance, I'm going to put a link below here for the FMCSA official use of PC, and you can read through that, and if you have questions off of that, let me know, and we can run through some scenarios if you want. You might not like my answers, and I apologize in advance, but I want to make sure that we are being good with the PC rules so that none of you guys get in trouble. Okay, that's what it's ultimately about. If you're running splits on your logs, I've had a couple guys ask, hey, I'm running a split and it's throwing me into violation, so they went to PC. That's not correct. If you're running a split and it shows that you have time on your split, it's going to show, and this is going to get complicated, so bear with me. If you're running a split, a 7-3 or 8-2 split, and you do one of the parts first and then you go again, it'll probably show you in violation on your ELD. However, that doesn't mean that you are in violation, okay? It just means that you're going to be in violation if you don't complete the second part of that split. Again, a little complicated. If you have questions, reach out to me, okay? But below I'm going to have the official FMCSA guideline on how personal conveyance works, when it's available to work. And again, I just want you guys to be safe out there on the road. I don't want you to be shut down. I don't want you to pay unnecessary fines for anything, for falsification of logs on this kind of stuff. We need to be safe. We need to make sure we're following everything. So if you do have any questions about PC, feel free to reach out to me. This coming week, I'm going to be monitoring it and just probably reaching out. I've reached out to some of you already that I've seen and say, hey, what are we doing here? If you need a PC that's going to take longer than 20, 30 minutes, text me, okay? My number's at the bottom here as well. Text me saying, hey, I need a PC for this reason. If I look on the report that I get and I see that you PC'd for 2 hours, you better believe I'm going to be calling you or texting you and saying, what's going on, what happened, why the PC for 2 hours. So now, don't get me wrong, there are legitimate cases where you can PC for 2 hours. They're rare, but there are legitimate cases. So anyways, all that to say, if you have questions about PC, read below, contact me, but we're going to start cleaning this up here and making sure that we are using our ELDs correctly. Cool? Cool. All right, so now let's watch some Dashcam video. All right, so this video is actually I was told about this video because it actually didn't trip any hard braking or harsh acceleration or near collision or anything like that. But one of our drivers, who shall remain nameless, contacted me and actually sent me the video because he had his own dash cam as well, and said, hey, take a look at this one here. And I thought it was interesting, and so I wanted to show it to you guys here. So we'll skip forward a little bit. We're just driving down Interstate 39. Nothing too crazy, you guys do this kind of driving all the time, but if you look up in the distance here, all of a sudden there's something in the middle of the road, and now we realize it's a minivan, okay? It's a flippin' minivan that is turning around on the interstate, okay? I have said this numerous times, maybe to you, maybe not to you, but I've said this numerous times. I don't know how some people have survived as long as they have in this world, because doing stuff like that is just asking to get absolutely annihilated on the interstate. Luckily for our driver here, he saw that looking up ahead, as you're supposed to be doing. He saw that and goes, something doesn't look right here. I'm going to back her down a notch. And luckily he did, because this minivan, as you can see, was literally just right across the interstate. I mean, just looking to get hit if he wasn't paying attention. So, and then the weirdest thing is he turns around, faces the other way. Like, I've heard of pulling over to the side of the road. We've all done that, but this guy literally makes a U-turn and turns his minivan back the other way. So people are crazy out there. I've said this numerous times, at least 21 times. Okay, that's how many we made here. People are crazy out there. It is up to you guys to really pay attention to what's going on the road, because it's incredibly obvious that this driver of this minivan is not a professional. He has absolutely no clue the rules of the road. I don't know if he dropped something way back there and he's gonna go pick it back up. I don't know, don't really care. What he did was incredibly reckless. And luckily for our driver, they noticed that and they slowed her down. So this is all just to remind you guys, pay attention. Even on a boring interstate, I mean, if we go back in this video, there's not a guy in front of this driver. This is a pretty boring drive, if I'm going to be honest. And if you've ever been on Interstate 39, you know it's a pretty boring drive. Anyways, but this is just a reminder to stay aware of everything going on out there, because you never know when you might have a minivan sitting long ways across the interstate. So I like to show these dash cams. Now, there's plenty of dash cam footage out there on the internet where it's all these big crashes and rollovers and stuff like that. I don't really like to show that stuff because that's extremely rare. This, however, is more common. Just these little nuanced things that if we're not paying attention could really end badly for everybody involved. If our driver didn't pay attention to this minivan, he could have easily T-boned him and possibly killed whoever was in that minivan. That would have been awful. So I like to show just this clips that we get from our own trucks, because this is our footage. This is what we see. This is what our drivers see. And sometimes it seems kind of mundane, and then all of a sudden you get this minivan straight across from you. So just be aware, okay? All that to say, just be aware of what's up in front of you, be aware of the cars around you, because you honestly never know what you're gonna see. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna jump out in front of you, all that kind of stuff. So I like to show this stuff just to remind you guys that you are the professional driver out there. You're the ones that are making the roads safe out there, not these minivan drivers here. But be aware of what's going on. Keep looking up ahead in front of you. If something looks goofy, feel free to take your foot off the accelerator. No one's going to be mad about that. But just make sure that you're driving. You're aware while you're driving out there. Cool. All right. So thank you again for watching this. All my contact information is at the bottom. If you want to talk about PC, let me know. Stop in. I got the new insurance cards are in, so feel free to stop in. I'll print those out for you, get those in your permit books. But thank you guys for watching this. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. And as always, drive safe.